All set. Hi everybody, this is Farmer Mike with Earth Spring Farm, and we're talking to you here from one of our tomato patches out here at the farm. We just had an inch of rain, and we are picking tomatoes for this week's boxes. And we are looking at here, we've got Cherokee Purple, which is an heirloom tomato. We've got Japanese Black Truffle, which is also an heirloom tomato. And then we have, I'm not sure what this is. I think this is Muscovich, which is a nice red tomato. I can't remember if it's an heirloom or not. I want to talk to you guys about these heirlooms a little bit because we grew a lot of heirlooms this year in the hopes that they seem to be doing better in the field actually than a lot of our hybrids. A lot of our hybrids are diseased and dying right now. I just marked off a whole bunch down the other field here that were like people are not to touch. But this is, you know, we're having a wet summer. We're having a cool wet summer, which is a really interesting situation to deal with here as far as disease. And we're looking at late blight and early blight. And I don't know if Julie's holding the camera here. She could just see some of these spots. This appears to be a little bit of late blight starting to set into the plants, which is really sort of a death around the corner type disease. And so we're going to hopefully keep picking these as much as we can here over the next few weeks, but it is hard to grow these tomatoes this time of year, especially in these conditions. The ideal conditions for tomatoes are hot and dry, and then we can really control, we feel like we can control disease a lot better. We can put the water on when we want, and we don't have to worry about the rain coming in. And splitting tomatoes, which is the next thing I was going to talk about. So I wanted to show you a couple of things here. So here is a Cherokee Purple that I just picked, and sure enough, there is too much water being sucked up through the tomato. We have a split in there. We're going to try to keep these out of your boxes as much as possible. We're never going to pick them like this, but sometimes they will just absorb a little bit more moisture in the box, and they will split like that. Now we also have this condition here. This is a Muscovich tomato, and we have a little bit of a water split across the top. You know, this is not abnormal for a tomato. I know a lot of you probably already know that. Here's another Muscovich with no splitting. So we're gonna do what we can. This is something that, you know, we try to avoid. And then if we were to cut this open, of course, the tomato would probably be in pretty good eating condition. That looks pretty good to me. That's a nice tomato. Look how meaty that is. Not too many seeds, not too much water, just a lot of flesh there. Little salt, little basil. Oh, let's not talk about basil, right? Whoops, I just said the magic word. So the basil, we have planted more basil than we ever have this year, and in different spots on the farm, and a couple different varieties to try to avoid disease. And we have a disease in the basil right now. It's called downy mildew. And the downy mildew is basically taking the leaves and turning them brown. Not only are we not putting basil in your boxes because we're afraid it'll ruin the entire box, we're hardly taking anything to market. I mean, we're cherry picking every once in a while. Did we take any basil to market last week? We did not take any basil to market last week. And anyway, not real happy about it. Now I do want to show you, let's go back to tomatoes for a second here. I do want to show you here. So here's an heirloom. This is either Cherokee, I think it's a Cherokee Purple. It's not ready yet. But here, this is just a normal growth pattern on the tomato. It looks like Dr. Frankenstein came in and stitched it back together or something. But there's nothing wrong with that tomato. It has a little hole down there. But I'm pretty sure that if we were to cut that open, that there's nothing inside that hole that's going to, you know, affect your appetite or, you know, ruin your salad. I'm going to sacrifice this tomato for the sake of science. So, you know, every once in a while you get something in there. I don't think it's even a worm. I don't see any insect in there. It's just the way the tomato grew. And you can see here, it's actually hard here. It's not like it's an open wound. It's not like this is it's not affecting anything down here. This is just the brown stuff that I'm scraping out here. But so, you know, look at those heirlooms as prizes to have in your boxes, because it's nice to get heirlooms in your boxes, I can tell you that. And we like to plant heirlooms too. Like I said, these plants are a lot healthier than most of the hybrids that we have in here too, so we're very happy. I hope you guys are enjoying the boxes right now. We're waiting for the eggplants to come in. Cool weather and rainy weather is not helping the eggplants right now, but they will be coming in, and when they do, we'll have a lot of eggplants. We have a lot of eggplants planted out there. You can kind of see where they're growing here on the other side of these sweet potatoes. and then peppers. We're waiting for the peppers to turn color. We just had to grab some of those green ones and put them in the boxes there the last couple of weeks. This week we won't have any. We'll try to keep them out until they do turn color so they're nice and sweet for you. Potatoes. We picked a lot of nice potatoes this last week. I think those are Yukon Golds. We picked them yesterday before this rain came in, and we're happy with those. Anything else you want to tell them about? We have a lot of winter squash that we planted early. It's coming in. We came in a little bit earlier than we thought. So this week you'll have butternut squash in your box, and then we had some Hubbards in the boxes last week, and orange Hubbard. Then we'll also have blue Hubbard. We'll have acorn squash, and then we'll have another field back up by the chickens that is planted, and that has more delicata, more spaghetti, and then more of everything else. Plus we'll hopefully have some pie pumpkins. Hopefully the timing for that is right here for this year. So I mean, to me, pie pumpkins, you could probably hit that one on the head anytime between third week of October and third week of November. So CSA does go until the week after Thanksgiving this year because of the extended season that we did, and also because we had a late start because of the cold. Please send me some feedback when you get a chance. We gotta keep picking here. The rain's starting to come down again. We gotta get these tomatoes done so we can finish up these boxes. But thank you, and I hope you guys are enjoying this season. Take care.